Good morning, everybody. This is LHI-Magic playing a little MSFS2020. Real weather, a real pilot, and going to just do a quick trip. In the Cessna Caravan from Albany, KALB, down to Bradley, KBDL. Flight conditions, we're using live weather. It's Thursday, September 24th, around 9:30 a.m. Perfect. Doing it as an IFR flight. So we're going to take off, go to the VOR, which we actually won't really do, but because it's at the field. Then climb out to 5,000, work our way up to 5,000 feet to Canaan, cruise, Shiggy, Stella, start our descent, and then do our approach into Bradley. We'll see what kind of approach they give us. It's all VFR out there today, so we'll see what they give us, but it should be interesting. All right, now we wait the long wait for Flight Sim to start. I shouldn't say that. I should be quiet, but we wait until Flight Sim starts. Weasel Boy, welcome aboard. How are you? Just in time, the load screen has almost finished loading. Today we're doing an easy flight, real weather, Albany to Bradley. Ah, yes, the calming load screen music. I love it. The last inch of the loading screen is the worst. It just seems to take forever. So we're going Bradley, or KALB to KBDL, Bradley, real weather. Looks like it's nice everywhere. Looking out my window, it's nice. It is an IFR flight, but I think we'll be in VFR conditions the whole time. Alright, I'm ready to go. I got my track IR. We'll just do a quick check here. Trying to move my head slowly. That was one thing in the comments. People said, don't wiggle your head around like a drunken monkey. It makes me sick. Alright. Parking brake off. And foot brakes on. Power's up. Here we go. I guess if I was smart, I would have set my altitude prior to starting. Here's our rotation speed. Yeah, that's what I did. I got it. A little high, I got to lower it a little, but doing two things at once is what we're supposed to do as pilots, at least, I guess. Alright, let's call Albany. I like the new voices. That adds a lot to it, having separate voices. Albany departure Cessna Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra is climbing through 1,000 feet for 5,000 feet. Cessna Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra Albany departure. Continue to Alpha Lima Bravo as planned. Altimeter 29.907. All right. Time to get some autopilot going. There we go. Okay. Flight director, autopilot. And some nav. And a little VS. And we'll set 500 feet a minute. Okay. Starting to get that under control. Alright, joining the bars. Climbing up 1700 for 5,000. Yeah, that is funny. Looking all over the place. It is what you're supposed to do, but again, if you do it in the video, because everyone's heads are fixed, it makes it a little crazy. Alright, everything's looking good. We're climbing nicely. Putting up the flaps will help with the airspeed. Alright, there we go. Yeah, that's absolutely true. In real life, there's no way you would get just direct on course. We would take off, and we'd be with tower for a few more minutes probably, and then they would give us to approach, who would give us some sort of vector. In this case, the first waypoint we're going to, which is Canaan, is in the direction they'd probably take us, because Albany's runways are north-south and east-west, and this southeast would take us out of the way. But it's a little more unusual that they would do that. Flying into the sun. That's what they say. If you want a good job as a pilot, fly west in the morning and east in the afternoon. But, you take what you can get. Hudson River we're crossing. As it goes up into goes a little further north, than part of it gets joined by, I can't remember the name of that second river, but there's the Hudson looking south. That's the Catskills down there. About 180 miles is New York City. Maybe not that much, maybe 150 miles, New York City. Can't see it on the horizon though. Alright, we're continuing our climb. We're almost to 35, through 35, going to 5,000. Waiting for our next call, I'm not sure. It should be maybe another Albany, but I suspect a New York approach will be the next. And probably 132.85. So if we wanted to get that set up, we could alright, 132.85's in the backup. It's a beautiful flight through guess what you'd call is the Hudson Valley portion of New York, and then northwestern Connecticut. Pretty flight. Not overly developed, but beautiful country. And of course, since it's flight sim and it doesn't remember, I forgot to set my tail number to my own thing. That's a feature that I look forward to them cleaning up. Alright, we're approaching 5,000 feet, leveling off. We get to flashing 5,000 and here we go, we're settled at 5,000. Backing off the power just a little. And backing off the pitch a little. Alright, as we settle in for our trip down there, it's pretty much a straight line. Canaan, Shiggy, Stella, Molds, Tomes, and Bradley, and we get a little closer, we'll see what Bradley's doing for weather, for what approach we can expect down there. Too far away right now to decide that. Looking east, way out that way is Boston. Fly over some more mountains here, so we're 5,000, keeps us well above. Everything's looking nominal. We've got 1,000 pounds of fuel. And we're burning about 600 an hour, so I think we'll have enough to get there with a reserve. It's about a 30-minute flight. Gives us a little bit of reserve. 20 minutes VFR. If I really wanted to, I could try to dial in exactly what I want to burn. Let's see if we can get it down to 400 pounds an hour. That'd be a nice fuel flow, wouldn't it? All right. A little over 4. Kind of killing our airspeed though, so I'm going to bring a little more in. $450 feels a little more reasonable. I want to go faster. All right, 459. Not unreasonable. and we're getting more speed out of it. Four miles to Canaan. Some might say Canaan. Yeah, the engine torque, it shouldn't be displayed in red. Yeah, that's well, let me zoom in on that. We'll talk about that a little. All right. So we're looking at the torque right here. I mean, you want to go. Let me deal with this.
Going to 132.65 Cessna, X-ray Golf Sierra. Boston Center, Cessna Alpha Sierra, X-ray Golf Sierra, 5,000 feet.
Cessna Alpha Sierra, X-ray Golf Sierra, Boston Center, continue to steal it as planned. Altimeter 29.906.
All right, Boston Center, we're a little low. Normally that's well above 5,000, but really above 7,000. Getting back to talking about the torque, yeah, that the upper range. If I pull the throttle forward, we get into the red. Red, not good. Shouldn't be in the red. Engine's torque limited, and it's also NG limited, and it's also temp limited. So if any of those are red, that's a bad thing. So torque out. But then adjusting if I adjust the pitch, how much their blades are biting, I can get that to change a little bit. And then we just got to look at our airspeed to see if it's what we want. And of course it's not. I want more airspeed of trying to go somewhere. There we go. Pitch full up, throttle a little more back, gives us better power. Is that real? I don't know. But it's fun. At least we're out of the red. We don't have that to worry about. Yeah, I would think you'd want about the most you can get power-wise without being in the red on anything. It's even got a prop RPM. You notice that went in the red for just a second. So I'll take that down a little. I guess it looks like it was about 1900 was the limit for that. interesting. All this is fun. So go up a little bit. You can see the ITT temp turns white, which means you're approaching some sort of limit. So back that off a little bit. Burning almost 450 an hour. I think we've got a pretty good setup there. Now let's look outside and see if we've crashed while monkeying around with all this on the inside. No. Still at 5,000 feet. On course.
Contact Bradley approach on 123.905.
Bradley and 123.95. Okay.
Going to Albany 23.905 Cessna, X-ray Golf Sierra.
I'll buy that. 23.95 is Bradley's over on this side.
Bradley approach Cessna Alpha Sierra, X-ray Golf Sierra, 5,000 feet. Cessna Alpha Sierra, X-ray Golf Sierra, Bradley approach, continue as planned. Altimeter 29.907.
Alright, I gotta make that altimeter setting change, which I have. Neglect 29.907. Alright. Let's take a look, see if we can get the ATIS 11815. Is the ATIS for Bradley? Alright, and we'll have to listen to COM 2.
Bradley Airport information, Charlie 1300 Zulu. Wind 28555. Visibility, tree. Sky condition, few clouds at 1,100 feet, few clouds at 4,100 feet, few clouds at 12,100 feet. Temperature, 17. Dew point, 10. Altimeter 29.906. ILS runway 24 in use. Landing and departing runway 24.
Alright, it's runway 24.
Say direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact. You have Charlie. Bradley Airport information, Charlie 1300 Zulu. Wind 28.
Alright, Charlie, ILS 24. Let's go ahead and set that up. ILS 24. I'm expecting it's going to be Kibby. Not going to load it yet. Let's see if that'll stay there. Yep, okay. So now we're ready when and if they tell us. As usual, I always like to say that we'll get the slam dunk from FS controllers. They'll give us a drop-in about 5 miles from the airport, which is a little bit ridiculous. Humorous, but not exactly right. I have to say, it looks just realistic. It looks like it does flying around. They get the haze, everything. The whole picture just looks good. And I'm running, my rig won't take the super detail, so I'm running everything basically medium, some things on high.
You are 20 miles northwest. Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect ILS runway 24 approach via Kitty transition. Clear to Kitty. Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect ILS runway 24 approach via Kitty transition. Clear to Kitty Cessna X-ray Golf Sierra.
Maintain present heading, but I'm allowed to go to Kibby. Okay, that's interesting. Let's see what that looks like. All right, well, not there yet, so tell you what, let's put that flight plan in. That procedure in, enter. Let's load it. I said let's load it. Oh, well, there we go. See? Load should not activate. But we're cleared to Kibby, so this is interesting. Cleared to Kibby. Okay, so really, she told me two different things which aren't actually right. We should be doing a direct to Kibby, or like we're doing, flying to Tomes and then lining up for Kibby. It does these crazy turns, these big wide turns. But okay, we can do that. All right. While we're letting it fly where we're going, we're going to tune up the ILS, which is 111.3. Oh, I'm sorry, 111.1. Put that in. It's IMYQ, that's checked. Put the wind up, put the bearing on. And wiggle around for a while the autopilot tries to get us lined up. It tends to fugoid a little, to overshoot just a little. All right. Looking at the approach plate, this will be the ILS runway 24 into Bradley International Airport. ILS frequency is 111.1. Got that set. Inbound course is 238. Initial altitude is 3,000 at Kibby. 2,700 to Surly and 2,100 to Motel, where we intercept the glide slope and we go down to 370, which is 200 feet above the ground. If we had to, a missed approach would be climb to 4,000, then a left turn direct to the Hartford VOR, DME, and hold. As a backup, we'll put Hartford there. It's 14.9. We'll put it in our spare. Put in our spare VOR, and we'll put that up on bearing 2, just to give us something to look at. All right. Looking at the notes, circling to runway 19 is not authorized at night. Category C and D visibility would increase to 1 3/8 miles instead of half mile. In other words, if you're going faster, you got to see more. And that's about it. All right, we're all set up on here. We're on a straight leg. We got the heading bug on the nose. We could go heading a little while, then come off and set up our 285 or 238 course. So let's go heading. Back over here, we put CDI on localizer. And we want to set that course to 238. Now, there it is. Oh, not needed because it's already tuned. I forgot this auto tunes it for me. All right, all set. Back to nav. Fix that little bit that we had, and we're still going. We're about halfway there for the turn. That is the Connecticut River. We're going by Barnes Airfield, just to the south of us there. Can almost see Boston. That might actually... Not quite. That's not really Boston, but those hills that way are about where the right direction. All right, let's set our altitude for 3,000. We know that's what we want. When we get to Kibby. So what I'll do is once we're starting our arc around, I'll bring us down to 3,000, whether they tell us or not, because otherwise we will be in the MSFS slam again. I have to stop talking about them Apparently they're listening to me.
Cessna, X-ray Golf Sierra.
All right. VS. Go 500 feet a minute. Back off the power just a little. All right, we're starting our long arc.
Cessna, X-ray Golf Sierra. Please expedite your descent to 3,000 feet.
Oh, because you gave me the body slam again. Okay, we can go down faster if that helps you. We'll go with 900. I think that's a little early, but we can do it. It works. Yeah, the ATC is definitely this recent patch has cleaned it up a little because it was the first iteration. We'd be 5,000 feet until we were 3 miles from the airport, and then they'd say, "Yeah, descend and land," and give us some crazy. All right, that's the let's see, west of Barnes, CEF. I think that's a. Is that the Air Force Base that's up there? Or Westover is the Air Force Base. That's the other one. But we're out of their way. We're still above them. 500 feet to go. Continuing our spin around. 300 feet to go. Should see the altitude flashing. There we go at 200. And it'll slow down and start to capture. All right, we're captured 3,000. Bringing the power back in. Prop pitch to fine. Gonna need that for landing anyway. All right, we're continuing to maneuver around. Just about turn on final. 238 is final. We're just about there. Coming around nicely. All right.
Cessna, X-ray Golf Sierra descend and maintain 2,700 feet.
2,700. Okay.
Descend and maintain 2,700 feet. Cessna, X-ray Golf Sierra.
That's an easy one. We'll just go 300 feet a minute since it's not much of a turn. All right, approach is armed. Got one more turn. Looking good outside. Start configuring for landing, bringing the power back a little. All right, there we go. Intercepting the switch to the localizer, and we're intercepted that, waiting for the glide slope. All right, we'll get a notch of flaps. That'll drop the nose a little. We're level 27. Might get that 21.
Cessna X-ray Golf Sierra, you are 13 miles northeast of Bradley. Contact Bradley Tower on ONE 20.3 when inbound.
Well,
Tower on
I'm inbound.
0.3 Cessna X-ray Golf Sierra.
20.3, we are inbound.
Bradley Tower Cessna Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra 12 miles northeast, inbound ILS runway 24 approach.
Cessna Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra Bradley Tower. Cleared ILS runway 24 approach. Altimeter 29.9 or flight wind 28, flight at 6.
Cleared ILS runway 24 approach Cessna X-ray Golf Sierra.
299 or 5. Let's get that in. Alright, we're coming up on the glide slope. It'll get it out here. We could come down to our 2100 or stay here and just intercept. We'll just stay here and let it intercept. You can see that's the green dot. It's right here. It's still above us, but it's working its way down. Once it gets here, we'll capture and follow that down. Alright, airport's on the nose. That's always a nice sign. Approach is engaged. Dropping some more flaps. Looking for a 90 knot approach speed. Alright, here we go. We're on the glide slope. Going down. It's 2700. Decision height is 370 feet. On course, on glide slope. Looking good. Little fast with our descent, taking out a little power. Alright, it's yellow flashing because we're the altitude is yellow flashing because we're descending below it. What we could put in is our altitude for the missed approach, if anything. And that was 4,000 feet, so we'll put that in. 4,000 set. We hope we're not going to use it. We're continuing down. Alright, 2,000 feet above, going to 370. I like that. X-ray Golf Sierra. We see you're on short final. We have some more directions for you. That's exactly perfect. Yeah, Weasel, they do that all the time. Yeah, while you're as busy as you can be and no time to talk, let me tell you which taxiway to use, which runway. There's, an ambulance that's going to be on the runway. Look out for that water buffalo. Who knows what, everything. All right, that's about 1,500 feet above 370 is our decision height. And then, yeah, please acknowledge last transmission. I can't. I'm busy. I mean, that's one thing. It would be nice if...
X-ray Golf Sierra cleared to land runway 24. Wind 285 at 6.
All right, that's the last time I'm talking to you. Once you get clear to land, there's no talking that needs to be done until you're ready to tell them. Yeah, that was exactly. I'm busy here. I'm flying here. All right. Getting that airspeed under control. About 1,000 to go. 1,000 for 370. 13 for 370. 1,000 to go. Airport is on the nose. Gonna raise my height just a little to help me see over. Alright, everything's looking good. The hardest part is when I dump the autopilot and actually have to hand fly. That's when things get all crazy. Alright, 1,000, so 700 to go. 370 is our decision height. Decision height means either you've got the airport in sight, you've got the airport environment in sight, which is things like the lead-in lights that you see, or the runway edge lights, or the runway paint, a number of things. And either of those you can continue. If you don't see any of those, it means full power and climb out, missed approach. A little less than 500 to go. Everything's looking pretty good. Yeah, thank you. As on cue. Bringing back a little power. Pretty much nothing to do here. 100 to go. $370 on visual. Dumping the autopilot. Get credit for 2 on that one. That was nice. Try to get back on that center thing because the lines are for pilots. Whoops. I looked down to read the chat and almost went off the runway. That was funny. Yeah, where's the Air Museum? It's right up over on this side, I think. I wonder if Microsoft has a plan to go through and just eventually, do like a Google walking person and do every airport. That would be nice if they would do that. Yeah, your text was just perfect. It almost ran me right off the side of the... I was on the line for a millisecond or so.
Cessna X-ray Golf Sierra, turn next taxiway.
Next taxiway. Okay, I can turn that one. This is actually right because the FBO is over here.
Cessna X-ray Golf Sierra, contact ground on Albany 25.65.
125.65 for Cessna X-ray Golf Sierra. Broadly ground Cessna Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra taxi to parking.
I see a fuel truck, so we'll park over by that thing.
Taxi
if you park right near the fuel truck, you get fuel sooner and get out sooner, so that's a good thing. We'll let the fire truck go by.
Cessna X-ray Golf Sierra, did you copy?
I did, but I'm busy taxiing. Just like you said, don't listen to them.
Taxiing to General Aviation Parking Cessna X-ray Golf Sierra.
All right. Parking brake on. Engines off. Lights off. Avionics. And shut down. Very nice. Well, thank you all for watching. Have a great day, and this is LHI-Magic signing out.